Hi, everyone. It's Cecilia from Everything But the Kitchen Sink, Tarot and More. I want to talk today about and read cards on a prediction I made a while back that I keep talking about. I think I publicly came out with what my guides and that shared with me. I felt a shift in 2020, and somewhere along the line, my guides said to me that we are moving from the divine masculine to the divine feminine, and it was going to be a 30-year shift. And in that 30-year shift, there was going to be a lot of turmoil from around the world, because for too long, the divine masculine has controlled the earth. And the divine feminine, they're supposed to work like yin and yang. They're supposed to work together. But the divine feminine had been pushed out. And so there's this fight that the divine feminine is making a comeback. And you have people that like the status quo and are going to fight tooth and toenail, while the rest of us want a more just and loving society. And so during this 30-year shift, something was going to happen within the United States. And I keep saying that we are going to be torn from our stud to the studs and to the rafters. I mean, we're going to be torn apart. Our Constitution is going to be not adhered to. Hang on one second. Let me put you on pause. I have a kid that, I'm sorry, that was my grandchild. So I put it on pause. So anyway, I kept saying that we were going to be torn to the rafters and to the studs. Everything that we thought we were is going to be challenged. Our institutions are going to be torn apart. Our Constitution is going to be neglected. And so far, what I'm seeing seems to be going along that. And of course, everything was based on the energy at that time. But the energy is still going forward. Nothing has changed. So what I want to do is see how the end, up from now to the end of the year, is going to be for the American people. Now, this is going to be similar things are going to be. The divine masculine to the divine feminine is going to be happening worldwide. But what I'm seeing with the United States is everything will have to be rebuilt. Because and I'm not talking about bridges, stuff like that. I'm literally talking the Constitution, our agencies, literally everything. Okay, we're going to make some serious changes. You know, everything that I'm seeing, we are going to be victorious. And there was always an if we acted on it, if we wanted change, and we didn't roll over and let our Constitution and our 250 years of being a country fall apart. We will learn from our past mistakes, and we will try to make amends, and we will try to fix them. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say from now to the end of the year. Disaster, wreckage. Oh yeah, we're seeing this in so many ways. From the big beautiful bill, to the war with Iran, to the trade wars. Everything is a total disaster right now. And there's wreckage everywhere. And it's not just affecting us. Our bullshit in this country is affecting the whole world. The war in Iran affecting the whole world. Doge and cutting USAID. A lot of people died from that. It's soft money. People don't understand the power of soft money and how it's actually always been in our best interest to have it, because things like, let's use screwworm as an example. Screwworm is making a comeback. Measles are making a comeback. But the screwworm, we did things with other countries to make male flies that didn't breed, and so you didn't have screwworm. And now look at where we are. Shadow ruler. Yeah, the felon in the White House is not calling all the shots. People are talking in his ear, and he just does what they're telling him to do. He's a puppet. He is a puppet. The oligarchs, the Epstein class, and all these other people are controlling the show. Okay. Right now, everything's unclear. It says moon, no, unclear. Everything is unclear. We don't know the direction. Well, I know the direction, but people don't know the direction the country is going in. Some people, there's a handful of people in comparison to a lot of other people. A lot of people don't like what's coming up. They're unclear of how they're going to make it and how they're going to survive. It's going to be some sort of science breakthrough. I don't know what kind. Just that the cards are saying there's going to be some sort of science breakthrough. Whether it's going to, I don't know if it's going to be in technology or health or what. But some sort of breakthrough is going to come through. Society collapse. I don't see it collapsing so much as I see people are going to be so fed up and so angry that they're going to lose their shit. And they're going to do what they have to do to survive. People are already doing that. People are stealing things now to feed their children. Imagine when things get worse, because they are going to get worse. The farming industry. This fall, oh man, let me tell you about this fall. Between floods, fires, drought, lack of fertilizer, this fall is going to be a big hurt on us, because we are still eating, like, let's take apples, for example, because apples generally, my eyes itch, I'm sorry. Apples generally do not get, I grew apples up north. I lived in Ohio. I had apple tree. Apples were never ready until like September, October. Okay. The apples we're seeing in the stores now that we're eating, oh my gosh, why is my eyeballs itching? The apples we're eating now were last year's crops that have been kept in cold storage. Now, all the lettuces and that are all from this spring's growth, but the flour and the soybeans and the corn and all that other stuff, that's not until later. And the farming industry, they're taking a real hit, and they're going to keep taking a hit. They don't have people to buy their soybeans. They don't have so, I mean, if farmers maybe did a cooperative, they might survive this form of cooperative and sell to the people direct. They might be better off. Banking and currency. Right now, there's this battle going on with wanting to change the currency of the world. The only reason why we've been doing well is everything is done in dollars, so we can keep printing up dollars. But if it changes, we're screwed. And banking has become this big, this business of too big to fail nonsense. I see banking with so much property that they're not going to know what to do with because of the foreclosures, because people are struggling to pay their bills. Assistance and help. The only assistance and help that's going to come is from communities. Assistance and help has already been cut, and we're seeing that. The effects of the big, beautiful bill are just now starting to roll in. Just wait until next year. But right now, there's not as much as assistance and help. This is where you've got to form your community. Work together. Trade services. You know, if one person knows how to garden and the other person knows how to sew, there could be a trade there. Okay? Things can be done. So many people, this is going to affect so many people. I mean, this isn't going to just affect a few people. Everybody. See, he's all dressed up, top hat on. The middle class is disappearing. This is what I see when I see middle class. They're disappearing into nothingness. There's so many people being hurt by this regime. Surprise attack. I don't know what kind of attack. It's so weird because in an earlier reading, when I was reading about Canada and that, I got a cyber attack with that. And then the card after that was the electric, had to do with power and that. It could be that, just surprise attack. Or it could have something to do with the war. It's hard to say. This is what they want from us. It says duties, keep quiet. They want us to keep quiet. They don't want us to make a fuss. We can't do that. We need to make a fuss. And we need to make our voices heard. Citing disclosure. I'm not 100% sure that this is going to happen before the end of the year. But I think there's going to be full disclosure at some time, not too far off, of ETs. Especially, I just heard nuclear weapons. Especially if nuclear weapons, people start doing something with those. We're going to be coerced and manipulated by the government. People are going to be taken by force. I keep saying that there's a reason why they're building these camps, these concentration camps, ISIS, the frozen crew. I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the homeless in Washington, D.C., that they cleared off the streets. Where are they? Not seeing anything about where they are. Utah just did this great big homeless encampment. They want to do a thing junior in Health and Human Services wanted to put autistic people in these camps. I think, and I've been saying this, and my friends know that I've been saying this, that they're going to be taking people by force. Well, not just the immigrants, but they're going to, because they're trying to get rid of birthright citizenship, and they're just trying to do everything you can think of. And they want to remove as many people, take them by force, and anybody that gets in their way. Okay, that doesn't. Betrayed and backstab at the base of the deck. A lot of people are feeling betrayed and backstabbed who voted for the felon. He promised one thing, he gave them another. And they're hurting. What kills me is that they were okay with it when it was somebody else, but now that it's them, now they feel betrayed. Not that the Constitution was being ignored for immigrants. No, didn't care about that. But when something affects them, all of a sudden they care. Foreign occupation. This has to do with a few things, I think. It's not us being occupied. I don't see us being occupied. But look at Venezuela. Little Marco is the viceroy, and he's controlling the money of Venezuela. They're selling the oil, but the people of Venezuela are not getting it. Where is it going? He left the same regime in power. They left the same regime in power. They just got rid of the head person, but let the vice president stay there. And she is their puppet now. And then you have Cuba. They want to take over Cuba. Why? We're going to starve them out. We're starving them out. They don't have enough fuel in that to power their water supply. People are digging in garbage for food. I think it's us going to try to occupy. And then I see them trying to put boots on the ground in Iran. And I don't think that's going to work so well. Food shortage. It's not so much that I see a food shortage, just keeps coming up in my readings. There's going to be food. We might not have all the variety. Like instead of having 15 cans of corn, we might only have 3 different brands. We might have only, what's the word I want? We might have limited supply. We're going to have food. The question is, are we going to be able to afford food? So those who can't afford to buy food, it's going to be a shortage for them. It doesn't mean there's not food in the grocery store. It just means nobody's going to, they're not going to have the money to buy. And with the cuts to food pantries and that, it's going to be a bigger problem. Okay. Well, this fits. Business tycoon. This is our master negotiator. The art of the deal. Thinks he's a business tycoon. He's not. Not in the least. He's a failed businessman. And even a worse president. The royal family. It's his family. This card represents his family. who think they are beyond everything, that their shit don't stink and that they could do whatever they want and not be held accountable. No, they're going to be held accountable. That is coming. Distraction, illusion. Oh yeah, everything is a distraction. Everything is an illusion. Everything's a lie. And Epstein files are at the base of this, of a lot of this. Distract the people so they refocus. Americans have short attention spans. They bounce around from thing to thing, and they don't stay focused in on the big picture. Prepare to stock up. I've talked a lot about forming your communities. I put on my Facebook friends for my friends about different creators that talk about pantry preparedness. It's not about living in fear. It's about trying to get the products while they're still cheap and still plentiful, if you can. I know not everybody can, but do the best you can. Drone strike. We're seeing more, this war got a lot of use of a lot of drones, a lot more drones. I see more of our ships, more of our servicemen in a drone strike. We don't know the true death or injured totals. We don't know the truth. But more are going to die through these drone strikes. And that's the end of that. So what can we do? Well, what can we do for the rest of the year? We do know that we need to try to stock up. But let's see what is ours. What can we do? Let's take a look. Okay. Shift your energy. Shift where you want to focus. Now's the time to form your community. Shift your energy to forming your community and learning something new, a new skill. I'm learning, I've been learning how to can more. Canning dry beans is what I actually have been working on this month. I was gifted a bunch of black beans and I canned a bunch of black beans. I didn't can it all, but I canned some so that they were ready because I like beans that are ready to go. I don't want to cook for hours, dry beans. But it could be learning, August is coming. Learn a new skill for August. Here in Florida, it's prime time to start a garden. We start our fall garden, which, well, technically it's called a summer garden, where you put in this is when you would put in your tomatoes and your corn and things like that. And then you would, after September, you start with you got your fall garden going in. Those are your brassicas and things like that like the cooler temperatures. But if you live somewhere else, maybe, learn how to freeze produce. Well, they're abundant. If you are lucky enough to live near a U-pick farm, head up to a U-pick farm. Maybe learn to sew. Maybe learn how to fix something. Learn a new skill. Shift your energy to where you are focusing in on something. Figure out your ideal course of action. Come up with a course of action. How are you going? What are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? Who is your community? What is your guys' plan? How are you going to work together? That type of thing. Okay, that's it. Through all of this, be your best self always. Be the best that you can be, even through the hard times. Do the best you can. Intuition. I live on intuition. I follow my intuition. It never has let me down. You know what you need to get through. You know what you have to do. Follow that intuition. Ask your guides. Help me out. Show me the way. How can I get through this? Trust your own understanding. Trust it. If it doesn't feel right, believe it's not right. If something seems too good to be true, and you've got this little twinge like, it's not quite right, follow that. Trust it. Trust your own understanding of how things are. Okay. And with that, I wish you a good night, and we'll get through this. I know we will. And you have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.